Hey guys, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles! In the last episode, we had a stunning discovery. We discovered that the corpse of Mr. Mason was apparently dropped from the Skylight up on from the top of the omnibus, and these two people here, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First, apparently didn't tell everything to court, so we're gonna go and cross-examine them in this episode. So let's just get going, refuting the accusation. We were the only two people up on the roof deck, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where's your proof? We don't have any, unfortunately. I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see? We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down to two of you were in the collusion with one another. What? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Okay, let's see. We're refuting the accusation. We were the only two people up on the roof deck, dead or alive, I can swear to that. Okay, let's okay, misclicked. I misclicked. Okay, let's press this fella. Hold it! So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not, Dickon! No question about it, he said. None at all. But yes, of course, I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. Is this true, Mr. McGilded?
Dear me, my lord, at the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately.
That's an outright lie! Without doubt you were engaged in...
Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? At all? Tis all about evidence in the courts these days, so it is. You do well to remember that.
I saw you with my own eyes. This is going so well. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? Yeah, that's a good question. Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of a lock? Is this some kind of a joke, he said? Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly. Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you'd never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry about that, young fella. But just see, I was away with the fairies and they didn't hear you at all. If that's a lie, I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone.
No, it was a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. It's hardly surprising.
Seeing things? Seeing things? I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point. You!
Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and the other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about.
This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really. In any case, neither of us knew the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Let's press. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason before? Oh, Lame, no, not once, never! He'd never met the man before, he said, never! And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. I just don't have much to do with brick makers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see? How many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection. Oh, it's the gentleman inside the cabin. We're gonna pursue straight away? Are we? Yeah, let's pursue. Let's pursue straight away. Mr. McGilded.
Yes, Counsel, what I can be doing for you for?
Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow?
Not the remotest connection. Is that right now? I wonder.
What are you insinuating now?
Mr. Fairplay. It has been too long, so it has.
Huh?
If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment days?
I beg your pardon?
You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir.
At an unconscionable rate of interest, you tricked me. It's extortion.
Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fella to pass his crimes off on another? And young Mr. First.
Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir?
You do be making hats for a living, do you not? Let that top hat slide in a bud on your head. Is that one of your own creations? Is it?
Well, I'm just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door.
Perfect fit, is it? Well, it is a very distinctive design, so it is.
Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch.
Customers, such as Prize-Fired Mason. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence of all, my lord.
This you mean? True, look at the hat.
I can't help thinking that the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't you say?
That's one of my hats.
Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer, I'd wager, you could have had a wee quarrel with over distinctiveness of the goods.
Oh no, sir. Absolutely not, sir.
Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case.
You little weasel! Ugh. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGilder has certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he?
Please, don't let me little interruption hold up the proceedings.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Where's your proof? Okay. So, we might be pressing here a little bit later as well, but I want to have all of the dialogue. So, the sky was shut the entire time until we could possibly have opened it. Hold it! Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute! He's going to lose the rack with you in a minute! That's what he said! Take a look for yourself! Go on! You see? It's shut fast now, just like it was on the night!
So it is, of course. A fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, still and all.
What?
Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand.
No, you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. No, not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when, well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it, as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just need to say, well, the point is I tried to open the skylight, you see? But my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Everyone was looking daggers at me, sir. I went as red as rouge, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried when I was inside the cabin of the shame. Uh-huh. 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 Let's pursue. Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens! The skylight! It is not what we're talking about, right? All them skylights open that easy! More easily than you can load the weapon? That's a lie, I tell you! Otherwise, when I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you mark? Oh! Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck of one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, art pursuit coming out of me is. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me so I couldn't hop off the bus and lag it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch from the sky is on the top side, that's why I can't open from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck? Bailiff? Climb up on the roof of the omnibus at once and verify this witness's claim. Oh, my hat!
See?
Order, order, order! So it appears that this straight girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. And from the roof deck. Mr. Naruhodo. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So, the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Yeah, we're gonna do that in a second. We just want to finish off the cross-examination by pressing the last statement of fair play. If you're so sure the victim fell through this, where's your proof? Yeah, we're gonna press here, and then we're gonna investigate, and then we're gonna prove him wrong. Proof. That's right, I demand to hear it. We came here to say what we saw, I tell you, not for this. But you call us both Scheissers? Scheissers? I don't know that word, guys, sorry. Brand us as criminals. You call us liars. That's what he means, and accuse us of doing it.
As it stands at the moment, there's no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here.
If I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth. I wonder if these two men really were involved in some way. I couldn't say. I mean, I don't really know anything about them, do I? Although, by the same token, I don't really know anything about Mr. McGilded either. It's so hard to know what to believe here. I think we should try to remember that it's evidence alone that can truly determine the outcome of a trial. Evidence. No one can argue against decisive evidence, including the members of the jury. So you're saying that what we need now is to find a conclusive piece of evidence? Yes, Mr. Naruto, precisely. Yeah, we are going to find that evidence. I'm pretty sure we have to examine the bus once more. And we are going to do so by doing like this, and then we are going to examine the skylight once more. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone, we should be able to open it. So we open. So we open. Is it? What was that enough? Is it open now? It is open now, so that should be enough. So we're gonna present that. Oh. Let's just consider the implications of that statement for a moment, shall we? What implications, counsel? Nothing strikes me about it. Exactly. There's nothing striking about it. What does strike me is your propensity of the inane, however. I need to clear my head and come at this again from a different angle. But, I don't get it though. Do I have to just check again? So, we are supposed to check again now? Is that it? You can certainly see inside the carriage through its opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin, so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. That is weird. Why can't we... Didn't update either. Yeah, let's open and go inside for sure. But, oh, there is something still. Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like you through, certainly, Mr. Naruto. Why someone like me? Ah! What is it? Look, just here, look at this! Oh, okay. That's, without question, it's blood! Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, It can't be unrelated to this case, can it? Okay, now. Okay, now we are done. Now we can present it.
Objection!
Okay. A little fiddly, but whatever. On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. And immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible on the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom.
What? That's utter humbug! You can't possibly have any evidence!
No, you can't! I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you, it's impossible!
Irrefutable proof? Here in this courtroom?
Sorry, guys.
Counsel.
My lord? My lord?
I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here, Where exactly within the omnibus is the evidence to which you allude? You will point out what it is that proves the victim fell from the roof deck through the skylight.
Yeah, we already checked that just a second ago. We will do it like this.
By Jupiter, is that blood? Oh!
This blood stain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of the omnibus was open.
What?
And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime.
No! Order!
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow stepped inside the cabin.
And only found its way to that one particular spot on the skylight, sure, and that would be very convenient. And let's keep in mind that the skylight catch can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I?
But there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the gent really fell through the skylight, I mean.
Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? 'Tis all too plain, if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height right there. So it is.
What? No!
But it can't be. It's all.
No! My fellow jury members. I think we can all agree that this is a clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we?
I believe we can. Yes, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom.
So they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the girl's carriage being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing.
On three then. Everyone. 1, 2. 3!
Objection!
Oh, I thought it was over. I really thought it was over.
Chilling performance, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, and what would you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zieks?
A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight? Such evidence is null and void.
What? Why?
For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed.
Objection!
What? What are you talking about? Oh my god! It's there for all to see, and it's clearly blood!
Objection!
A personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb, so I can state with absolutely surety. No such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least, not until this trial began. But, are you suggesting, Lord von Zieks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. And while this court has been in session. What?
What a palaver. I must say I didn't expect such a crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord von Zieks. But Magnus McGilded, a fellow known all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to slander, and I fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Mr. McGilded, I realize that this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes in a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that a case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts.
Adapt the fact? What does that even mean?
When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGilded's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir.
Tut, Lord von Zieks, this will not do, to be sure. Will it now, counsel?
Oh, no!
I think it's fair to say, this does all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if yous will all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? How could anyone possibly have put a smear of blood in it without the ward and his wife seeing? Isn't that right now, counsel?
Well, there was the smoke bomb, though. It's true. The omnibus has been in full view the entire time that court has been in session.
My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words.
As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think it could have been possible because there was the smoke bomb. So I'm going with it could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility.
Oh! Good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit.
Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly. The recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naruto. Cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke and everyone was thrown into confusion. And all of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus.
Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, you rotten feckless gouger?
Feckless? Gouger?
You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me. So it is.
Objection!
Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as? To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Van Zieks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord, no doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus. Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? Well, that's a good idea. Good question, I mean. I don't actually have an idea. So let's check the omnibus out. It might be the case that we should have paid attention to the number here. Maybe it's just really the number. Job masters. Is there anything else? I don't really know. So I'm gonna be honest and say I have no idea. If I'm honest, I don't remember what I examined when in that omnibus. I can't verify this either way. My lord, at this moment in time, can point out one other inconsistency. Thank you for coming to save us, Susato-san. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? Mr. Sato, what are you doing? I examined the omnibus with you, don't forget. There's something that seems out of place compared to how the carriage looked originally. That's what we need to identify now.
What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare betray me, you little maggot.
Objection!
Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to be believing here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. What exactly is this alleged mark that you claim appeared at some point during the trial? Okay, guys, we have reached the half-hour mark, and I really don't have a clue. I have to think about this a little bit for myself before I start doing anything. So, I'm sorry to tell you this, but this is it for this episode of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. See you on the next episode when we find out what actually has happened.